everybody. Great news from the San Diego Comic-Con front. And no, I'm not there. As you can see, I am actually in New York City because this is a weekend that we are getting ready for the second season of Alpha Waves Radio by recording a block of episodes. And that's what I've been spending the weekend doing. But that hasn't stopped news from coming in from San Diego Comic-Con, especially when it comes into the world of Star Trek. Star Trek Picard specifically. The first trailer dropped, the first full official trailer dropped of Star Trek Picard, which began filming a few months ago in Los Angeles. And it's actually very exciting because there was some major revelations, not just in some of the characters that we might see, but also the fact that Picard is indeed returning to space, and there are some familiar faces on the way. There had been a lot of speculation that Brent Spiner would be returning as Data. That is probably one of the worst kept secrets that has happened when it's come to Star Trek Picard, because I don't think Brent Spiner has made it any secret that he's wanted to return to the franchise, and that even though he has stated well in the past that because Data's an android, that he doesn't age, and Brent Spiner's an actor who does indeed age because he's a human being, that of course technology has changed quite a bit when it comes to movie making, to where it's very possible to use a little bit of CGI enhancement and make somebody look a little bit younger or look a little bit different from what they might have appeared otherwise, without having to use prosthetics or anything else. We saw that a lot, by the way, in in the Marvel universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tony Stark had that happen when he was displaying himself younger, and doing that type of CGI is actually pretty easy as long as you have an existing model of some sort. It makes it even easier. So because Robert Downey Jr. of course has appeared in movies for many years, it wasn't hard to model that, and it's the same as I'm sure true with Brent Spiner in terms of making Data look like Data that we remember him from Star Trek The Next Generation. The other surprise casting, however, we knew there's going to be some other castings, and there's still some thoughts that Jonathan Frakes as Commander William Riker might show up, especially since he's directed at least one episode, or maybe even two, of Star Trek Picard already. But what was actually kind of surprising is the fact that we got a character from Star Trek Voyager, and probably one of the biggest ones that we could have received on there, which was Seven of Nine, played by Jerry Ryan. And this is a much different Seven of Nine, by the way, than what we might have last seen her as. In case you're not familiar with the Seven of Nine character, she was introduced, I believe it was the third season of Star Trek Voyager, the third or fourth season, and she was a rescued Borg drone who is human. She was kidnapped as a child when her ship that her family was on, that they were captured by the Borg, and so, of course, we always remember that Jerry Ryan, or not Jerry Ryan, but Seven of Nine wasn't exactly the most friendly person, the most outgoing person, and in fact, it was her efforts to try to become more human-like that was part of. They gave her kind of Data-like qualities, and that's actually what's kind of interesting, is that we have two characters who were similar in certain ways in their pursuit of humanity, and both of them are featured very prominently in the new Star Trek Picard trailer, which of course suggests is that now Picard is trying to rediscover his own humanity, and it's very exciting. There's a lot of elements here that I don't know if anybody noticed, but there's a lot of elements here of Rogue One from Star Wars. There's, with kind of bringing this crew together. Doesn't look like it's necessarily a Starfleet crew. Also, there's a little bit of Firefly. If you remember the old Joss Whedon space western series, it looks, with the girl who has specific powers, doesn't know who she is, kind of thing, and who's also going to be very powerful. So that's some very exciting things. A little bit of mishmash here and there. It doesn't hurt at all, but it does look very exciting, very promising, and visually stunning. I mean, this is a show that just started filming a couple of months ago, so this is somewhat finished footage, but not fully finished. And it's very exciting to see it. The other biggest revelation of Star Trek Picard, however, is when we're going to see it. The initial reports were that we would see Star Trek Picard beginning in the fall, But now it looks like CBS All Access has actually pushed that to 2020. And that's actually very interesting because it suggests that CBS is very confident in their subscription base right now, because CBS All Access is a subscription-based service. So the fact that they're producing episodes right now, it looks like they're going through post very quickly. I mean, although we have not really seen any major visual effects, especially any space effects, so those take a little more time. But that CBS is not that worried about losing some of the subscribers that have come in because of Star Trek Discovery, and Star Trek Discovery just started filming. I believe they started filming, a few weeks ago at the earliest, really. And so we're not going to be seeing that show at least probably until fall, next fall, not even this fall. So it could be quite a while before we see Discovery again. But it looks like CBS All Access is very confident that they're holding subscribers on, and that they're going to keep growing that base, and that by the time Star Trek Picard premieres in 2020, it'll be a very healthy base for them to draw from, and it's very exciting. So Star Trek Picard is coming to CBS All Access, coming in 2020.
Engage.